Well, let me take you through news coming in on Ozempic, the diabetes drug turned weight loss drug now. It seems like there are major health concerns and warnings that have been studied in Australia. We're talking about a major health warning affecting millions who take popular weight loss and diabetes injections like Ozempic, Wegovy, Saxenda, and Trulicity, as well as Mounjaro. Australia's medicines regulator, the TGA, has now said doctors must watch patients very closely. Those who've been administered these diabetes/weight loss drugs must be watched very closely because the mental health side effects could be crucial and intense. Global regulators from Europe to the US to WHO have noticed something very serious in their safety database. People taking these injections are reporting suicidal thoughts, deep depression, and sudden mood changes more often than other diabetes drugs. No one has proved a direct link as yet, but the warning signs are quite strong enough that regulators are now taking action. Just in Australia, until September, 72 reports of suicidal thoughts, 6 cases of possible suicides that happened that was linked to depression, those who were on this medication, 4 suicide attempts that happened, 2 deaths by suicide, 1 case of self-harm thoughts. This was a survey that was clearly done of those among those who were consuming this medication, and this was proof. Doctors warn that people already dealing with anxiety or depression or those on antidepressants could be most at risk. The rapid weight loss itself can trigger emotional stress. And there's a second warning as well. For women, Mounjaro may make oral contraceptive pills less effective. That's what the study also says. The drug slows digestion so much that the body may not absorb the pill properly. So new rules say women on the pill must add another protection method or switch to a non-oral contraceptive, especially for the first 4 weeks after starting Mounjaro. And one more crucial point here, these drugs must not be taken during pregnancy. That's also understood, and a very pointed direction given in that study there on that. So are these early warnings that got missed in trials? How come these companies haven't really outrightly underlined or underscored these side effects? Millions are now using these injections, and let me tell you, the demand for these weight loss drugs are only growing. Let me clarify, it's a diabetes drug that's being used for weight loss. Obesity also on one end on the rise, and we are looking at people resorting to these kind of drugs to fight their habits. Well, many countries are flagging off these concerns. Let me bring in our guests for a little more clarity on these really intense side effects of suicidal thoughts that are coming in from drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro. Dr. Vidya Tiku, consultant endocrinologist, Yashoda Hospital, High Tech City, Hyderabad. We have Jyoti Dev Kesadeva, director, Jyoti Dev Diabetes Research Center. Thanks, both of you, for joining us. I hope I've pronounced your name right. Dr. Vidya Tiku, if you can give us your sense on these diabetes drugs that are leading to severe depression among users who were surveyed on in Australia. What's your take? Was it expected?
Yes. So one thing is that this is nothing new about it. I mean, all this class of medicine, GLP-1 analogs, we always knew that that since they act on the dopamine reward system, and the dopamine will be halted, we knew that it can lead to mood changes. In fact, it is one of the things we always have been asking our patients. If there was a history of suicidal thoughts or ideations, we never prescribed them. Having said that, the Australian study that you're talking about, there were probably more than 500,000 people who had used this medicine, and out of those, 72 had those, suicidal thoughts. And even the regulatory guidelines themselves said that it was not really directly linked to the medicine. I mean, per se, the obesity or the diabetes, the pill burden might lead to depression or mood changes. But yes, since they do act on the reward system, we need to keep a watch out on these symptoms. Now, whenever we prescribe a medicine, we always weigh the risk versus benefit. So when we are talking about 72 cases of suicidal thoughts amongst 500,000 users, we also have to look about how many heart attacks are prevented. There is a 20% reduction in cardiac events, so that is 1 in 5. I mean, 5 people who are going to have a heart attack, one doesn't get it. One third of our Indian population suffers from fatty liver, and this is a wonderful molecule for fatty liver. and like fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver is emerging as one of the leading causes of liver cirrhosis that ultimately leads to liver failure. So we have a medicine here which is so beneficial for obesity related complications like obstructive sleep apnea, fatty liver, osteoarthritis, diabetes, blood pressure. So when we weigh the benefits are so huge that the tiny risks that we are talking about, I mean, we definitely have to take it with a pinch of salt. I do understand that, for that one
Wow.
family, the one person
Tiny
is very
risks
statistic.
could lead to
You have to
suicide
take
as
a
per the
watch.
study.
No, yes, so that was one
Okay,
person in
but
half a
great.
million
No,
population.
no, but
And there were thousands of heart attacks prevented. So yes, we definitely need to keep a
no,
watch on that.
absolutely. Okay,
Yes,
so
and we definitely need
supervised,
to keep
it's
a
not
watch.
bad. The benefits outweigh the the perils.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, Jyoti Dev, Kesava Dev, your take on this, sir. You also have a diabetes research center. Do you also believe benefits outweigh the side effects?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Nabila. I completely agree with Dr. Vidya. We have been using this group of drugs for many years, and we have been using liraglutide for more than 20 years. But you have to compare this with obesity. In obesity, we speak about 4 M's, and 1 M is on mental illness. So, in people who are overweight and obese, a substantial number of people are already having mental illness in the form of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal ideation. So, in those people who are already having a predisposing factor, when there is a sudden weight loss and when the pleasure of eating is gone, because the pleasure of eating is very important. So, people who are obese, they like eating more, and this drug selectively acts on the brain, on the hypothalamus, and it induces satiety. So, it is suppressing the appetite, and the pleasure of eating is gone, and that can also result in anxiety, depression, and aggravation of the suicidal behavior. So when we prescribe these drugs, as Dr. Vidya said, we are very careful. We know that these drugs are having so many benefits, and the benefits are so much that similar to the other 4 or 5 drugs such as antibiotics, vaccination, insulin, cholesterol medications, this is also another class of drugs which have improve the longevity of human beings. So some studies have shown that it increases the lifespan of human beings by approximately 7 years, similar to many other innovations such as vaccinations. So this is only a finding. And when there are 30 to 40 million people around the world safely using this drug, it is very common that even the minor side effect, this is not a side effect of the drug, because everybody knows that this is not a direct side effect of the drug. It is an indirect one which is getting reported, and it is getting wider publicity. So my only request is nobody should stop the drug, but it is a warning. It is a caution that we should be closely watching our patients when they are suddenly losing weight, and when there is a mental illness or when they are having a disruption of the body image. Be careful, and nothing is going to happen. These are wonderful, miraculous drugs which have prolonged the longevity of human beings. And this is the beauty of science and research in modern medicine.
All right. All right. Jyoti Dev, thank you very much. And Dr. I really appreciate both of you joining us. I'm sorry, that's all we have time for. But from what I understand from both of you, is very clear that the benefits outweigh the side effects. So it could be very useful if it is doctor monitored and for a short period of time until you achieve what has to be achieved. Thanks very much, both of you, for joining us. Appreciate that.